I am called Francis Addai from Ghana. I work with Vulnerable Aid Organization. Our working area is in Kwasa South. I'm the project implementation officer. I'm here today to talk about social work practice in Ghana. Thank you, my social workers around and learned people in Holland, Hans University. The outline for our presentation is in 4 thematic areas. One, I've already done one, that's the brief history of vulnerable organization. 2, we are going to discuss gender issues about Ghana. And 3, how vulnerable aid is addressing gender inequality through the beekeeping projects in Ghana. And lastly, what are the principles guiding our work with individuals and communities? So at the end of the day, we are going to look at 4 these areas. Firstly, let's look at our introduction. Let's go to the introduction. When you say social work, we are all social workers. I think you one day become a social worker. Who is a social worker? A social work is a career that helps people, families, groups, and communities improve their overall well-being and quality of life. Social workers are dedicated professionals who operate a variety of contexts, including schools, hospitals, government agencies, and non-profit organizations. So at the end of the day, when you go to our hospitals, we see social workers there. When you go to our schools, we work there. When you go to our market, we work there. When you go to various NGOs, we work there. When you go to the district assemblies, we also work there as social workers, so that maybe we can see that things are going well for people. So what's our social work is talking about, therefore, vulnerable aid organization, we can say we are social work practices. When we are talking about gender beekeeping, whereby we want to involve women, therefore, we are looking at gender transformative change. We want to bring some change to people's life. Social workers, we are change agents. So therefore, there should be recycling, or there should be a process for the people. So when I say gender transformative change, it's a process of addressing and changing the social, cultural, economic, and political institution and convention that contribute to gender inequality. So that is the definition for gender transformative change. Let's go on to the next slides. Okay. Wow. Well, this is interactive. What do we see? Symbol or the pictures here is talking about something here. It's talking about one, teamwork. Teamwork. Whereby we should come, social workers should come as a group to see to it that we come against gender transformative, or we come against gender bias. Therefore, we come against gender stereotype. So it is a global phenomenon. It's not only in Africa. When you go to Asia, they have that challenge. Sometimes in Europe, there's a challenge there. When you go to North America and America, there's a challenge. So if all hands, different hands together, no matter your color, your racism, your tribe, your language, therefore, we are saying that let's all social workers come together so that we can advocate, for gender biased. So that's the reason why I brought this in picture. So that maybe we should forget about the color, forget about the racism, we should forget about the continents, so that we can all come together as social workers. Next slide. Okay, thank you very much. Let's look at the gender and the labor issues in Ghana. Let's see. Firstly, I think women in Ghana homes are responsible for the upkeep for the family. I think maybe when it comes to Europe, the systems are working for you. But when it comes to Ghana, it's mostly in most of the house, it's the women that are catering for their children. They are paying for the school fees. While the fathers are there, they are cooking, They wake up early in the morning, do all the cooking, cook in the house, go and look for small develop work to do, and 3 o'clock he must be in the house, also cook for the family again. So we could see that general upkeep, about 90% of the life, it depends on women when it comes to Ghana. Secondly, however, they face a lot of challenges, such as abuse. When you're talking about abuse, sometimes they face what is called sexual abuse. Some are raped for money. Some are put into early marriages, whereby they are not ready to get married. Because they are 16 years, the parents force them to get married. So they also have starvation, whereby maybe they don't have what to eat. They depend on their husbands. They also, like when you go to work, like as I said earlier, some of the work, that's whereby it's lucrative. There's a huge capital for them. It's allocated for men. They don't want a woman to do so that maybe they can also have equal level with the men. So that's also the problem. So when you look at the statistics show that 74%, 72.4 are men working, and 56 are women too working in the same scale. So when you look at the ratio, therefore, the female are at the low side. So we as social workers, we want to push, we want to educate, we want to advocate so that 56 can be moved through the beekeeping. So this beekeeping project is whereby we are going to empower the women. When it comes to Nkwanta precisely, when it comes to Ghana, we have 2 areas whereby we do beekeeping. That is Nkwanta South and Brekum. So when it comes to Nkwanta South, this is a lucrative business, but only male are doing them. They will not allow their female to come and do. So if your female want to do, they will challenge you. They will not allow you to do because they will not even give the capital. So that's the reason why we, the vulnerable aid, want to empower the female to also come into this lucrative business so that maybe they can look for their families. The last little one, what I said is that sometimes people have the qualification. They have gone to the school, they have done everything, but because of the cultural bias, they say, oh, women, they are going to give birth. So they will not give this work to them. So they will give to male instead of the woman who is qualified to do the work. At the end of the day, they say, oh, women, their work is to give birth, to look for their family, stay home, and do the house chores. So when it comes to Ghana, we have a problem in labor issues. Next. As a social workers, what can we do to bring a change? What can we do to bring the gap? What can we do? So the role of social worker, one, all of us, the reason that I brought the hands, should start writing articles, do research on gender discrimination, travel from one country to country to know what is going on, to advocate, share things on media, on social media, on TikTok, Instagram. So if we are all able to write things in social media, I think we can make our work easier. The second one is sharing ideas and resources, whereby what we have, we all join hands together to help organizations, help individuals. Like you see the picture there. Just recently, I went there and we gave them the pad. So you see them, they are raising their pad. Some of them cannot buy them. Some of them were using rag. Some were using territory when they get their menses. So if all come together and empower the women, I think it can also be good for them. The third part, I said that we should interrogate them. We should have a questionnaire. We should come maybe interview with the women to know what is wrong with them, so that maybe we can have no stereotypes against the women. And we should also promote gender equality, whereby we are writing articles to the government so that when they are taking employment, at least they can take about 40% of the women. Likewise, whereby they were taking 20 or 10. And we see that it's against the women. And the last little one that we are saying that we should create condition that increase the power, control resources, and decision making. So recently, we champion that most of the decision makers were the assembly members. So we empower the women to contest for social assembly elections, so that maybe when they have the say, when they go for the assembly meeting, they can also speak on behalf of the community. But at the end of the day, our achievement couldn't be achieved because even the old female couldn't even vote for their colleagues. And the population, the female are more than the male. They couldn't even vote. So the ratio that we are looking for the female to be in power, take decision, we couldn't achieve it because they didn't understand themselves. The next slide. Promoting gender equality through projects. That's the reason why we, the NGO, we have some projects. So last year, we gave the women some substantive money to establish vegetable farming. We also have some stakeholders meeting whereby we do workshops for them. We do mass education in the information centers, whereby maybe you also, right now, that's the reason why we are looking to do a project like beekeeping, so that maybe we can get the women and also empower them. So as social workers, there should be a feasible project for them to do as a woman to empower them. The next one, sustainable beekeeping case study. Why are we doing this? Why are we calling it sustainable? Beekeeping is a lucrative business that's a practice in man in Kwata South, precisely. When it comes to our project sites where we are staying, I think we produce bees, but the males will never allow the female to come in. The females see it that if you do it, they will tag you and call you Kojo Besia. Any woman who practices the beekeeping, they tag him Kojo Besia. So it will discourage you. The naming in quote will just discourage you. So it never even boosts your interest to do it. There will be prejudiced name. They will stigmatize you. So we are praying that as an NGO, you want to bring the women together, empower them, so that at the end of the day, it will create a bridge between the male and the female, so that such projects that men are doing, the women can do better for us. So therefore, we are here to break the gender discrimination and stereotypes. And we want to also intensify that at the end of the day, when they get the income from the bees, they can also intensify their farming. Because when it comes to in Kwanta South, we only plant maize, cassava, and yam. So when it comes, they can also they put them into the large scale, than sustainable farming or peasant farming for their families and other things. So when it's the rainy season, they can do the farming. When the dry season, they will be just starving, as I said earlier. So maybe some of them move from the Kwanta and come to the south and look for maybe carry work doing, carrying hawking business. Sometimes they do business, and at the end of the day, I think they cannot even receive €1. So if we empower the women and they do beekeeping, I think they will not even migrate from the south, from the north, and come to the south for just about €1 or €2 work, whereby they cannot even cater for their family. Yeah, thank you. You are welcome back to the last of my presentation. Before maybe I will conclude, I think I hope from the presentation that you did, I could see that you really enjoyed the presentation from the beginning. And Vulnerable Aid is looking forward for maybe you can also come in Ghana to come and do your social work, or maybe your attachment or volunteer work. Anytime any one of you want to come, we are going to maybe write officially. If you send us email, we can accept you. So let me conclude. Principle guiding project implementation. When you want to implement a project for such a gender or maybe for such a canker, there must be a principle that must guide you. One, you must be confidentiality. 2, you must come out with non-judgmental. 3, you must respect and dignify the people that you're going to work with. And then lastly, you should look at the cultural practices. It's not easy to maybe do beekeeping in every place in Ghana. Some of the husband will never allow you to do, unless we have a series of encounter. Sometimes not only about maybe the culture, maybe sometimes the religion. For instance, like a Muslim, you don't look at the religion and the culture as holistic. We cannot come out of gender transformative change. So when I'm saying confidentiality as a social worker, the people must have a confidence, a trust in you. We are talking about the code of ethics, code of behavior. That's you as a social worker must exhibit. So if you're a social worker, the first thing that you must know from you that your code of ethics is that you must be confidential. When people share the secret to you, you must not try to maybe say it publicly. For instance, when you want to post some pictures on maybe social internet, you must seek for their people, their consent. Don't just come out and put the pictures and say, oh, these people, they don't know anything, they're illiterate. No, at least we should find out and seek for their consent before we can even post any picture for any project or any social work. Secondly, when you're saying non-judgmental, don't be so selective or biased. Looking for those that you know. No. At least you should look for, as the social workers, we are looking for those who are qualified. So you should forget about favoritism, nepotism, and tribalism, and look for those who are qualified to do the good work. I think when they come to Ghana specifically, people don't respect women. Excuse me to use this language. When you go to some of the tribes, I will not mention it because it is socially wide word. They don't respect women. Even if they want you even to sleep with a woman, sleep there and let have fun with you. So unless you must, as a social worker, you must respect them. See that there is something good, unique in women, something good that God created in women. And lastly, as I said earlier, if you don't put our culture into the practice, at the end of the day, you lose the work or you lose the focus. You cannot get your targets. So if you want to work and work certifiedly, you must always also assess the culture and try to bring transculture. You try to bring, right now, we are trying to bring foreign culture into our system, and this is improving the livelihood of women. So I say, as a social workers, at least you should have a good contact with the people. And the work is not in the office. The work is at the field. So you should be going to the field, be with the people. Sometimes when you go and you see them, what kind of water that you are drinking, don't go and say, oh, I'm holding a bottle of water like this. Me, I will not take your water. No. That does not show respect. Although maybe you hold a bottle of water, in a Ghana culture, when you go to some place, they will welcome you for water. So if this water is not clear, and maybe you don't like it, just take it. Oh, thank you. And you just strip small for them to see that, respect them. So don't say, this water there, I don't like it. Take it away, throw it away. I don't like your water. No, they will never accept you. So if you want to come, whatever they are eating, see that the food that they are eating, although maybe it's not good quality, it's not nutritious, but at least encourage them and try to educate them. I think at the end of the day, we are going to get rid of gender stereotype, gender bias, and we can bring the gap. And at the end of the day, we can fight the canker of stereotyping the women as biased. I'm done. God bless you.